All right, that means it's everyone's favorite time where we get to welcome new partners. But first, let me make sure everyone has the notes again. So that's our agenda and notes. And okay, everybody, we're going to welcome two new libraries. So we had Westlake Porter Public Library in Ohio go live, as well as Citrus County Public Libraries will be going live on Monday. So yay! If anyone's here, welcome. And yeah, okay, next thing is still me though. So like I can get into this, which is if you're in the notes, I have a call to test two things specifically in 2312 that I will need your help with. The first thing, which Mark mentioned in the updates in an instant, would be relevancy. And what we're going to ask you to do there, instead of submitting a bunch of separate tickets about like each thing that you're finding for like each title, it would be helpful if you guys would use grouped work search tests and sort of store those in your Aspen admin. This is a link to the Help Center that explains a bit of what those are if you haven't used them, and you can use them whenever you want. So just like record results there, and then submit a ticket and let us know that you have example searches there that you want us to look at. And you can explain a little bit why, like if it failed, like we can probably investigate immediately why. And yeah, so just do that for us. Normally we do prefer and support that you submit separate tickets, but this is the one case where we're like one ticket and then all of your searches in Aspen admin, please. And then secondly, if you have a test server, particularly if you're a non-Koha ILS library, if you could just check on renewal functionality in 2312 before release, that would be helpful. I'm going to go on the servers that I can. And in particular, if you're a Polaris library, if you can set up a renewal that has a fee with it, we added that functionality to Lita, so I just want to check it out. But yeah, those are my two big things. I will be in the Aspen testing channel like always in the Slack. So if you have questions or want to DM me, go ahead. We can talk about testing all day long. And I think after that, it is back to Jordan.
All right. Let me get screen shared again. And we now have our priority planning and review. So there's a link to this. Oop, got a little click happy there. There's a link to this in the chat. If it's hard to see on your screen right now, there's a PDF in there. But this is where we talked about our plan for the last release and whether or not we kind of met our goals and what's going on there. And then we talk about what we're hoping to work on for the next month. So last month, we talked about how we have a bunch of things we just want to wrap up before the end of the year. We don't want to get too many different things in progress. So you can see our list is a little longer than usual, and we still have some things that we're working on. I did also pull some things out. We always work on the high priority bugs and the partner priorities. If you look through our release notes, you'll see all of those ticket numbers in there. That's how you know those are the things that we're working on. But there were a few things that actually took a good amount of time that I wanted to call out specifically. And those things have the stars next to them on the right. So those relevancy and search updates for titles, Mark showed you those, and those updates. I'm excited about those. I think that came up a couple different times in the last month, and we just knew we needed to jump on it. So we made sure and we did that. And I'm going to say one more time, please look at this. Please test the relevancy. All of your catalogs are different. All of the content in your catalogs are different. So we want to make sure that those relevancy updates are really working for everyone before we turn them on. The other thing, we're continuing to make tweaks to the updates to Symphony self-registration form. So a couple different things we can do there for that tight integration that we spent a good amount of time on this week. Also with e-commerce updates ongoing, we had an ACI integration. So if you use ACI, please reach out to us. We'd love to get that enabled for you. And then we're also looking at Stripe. So we're continuing to do some e-commerce, and it did take quite a bit of time this month. A lot of these things still say working on it. We'll talk about the LIDA performance enhancements in a bit. You saw, I talked about one of those earlier. We have more coming. Mark showed you the Palace project in the Hoopla Flex. Again, Aspen is the first we're the first organization using these new APIs from both Palace Project and from Hoopla. So this is always going to be a little bit slow going because we're essentially testing whether or not they work as we're using it. So we're going back and forth with those organizations. But you can see Palace Project is well on its way. We had a couple of meetings with Hoopla. So again, these are moving, but we expect them to take a little bit of time. As far as improvements for consortium administration, one of the things that we're hoping you're going to see next month is the ability to copy some of the settings, especially like library systems, locations, e-content, to help with setting up new libraries as they join consortia or as we're setting up new libraries. Let's see, anything else that I missed in here? We have a couple of things that are done. I do want to talk about the ungrouping graphic novels from regular books. It says postponed on here. We're going to talk about that on the next page. So we'll talk about that then. We just didn't want to get too many different things in progress because then it gets, we're just working, when you're working on 5 things at once, you're less efficient. But we will, we're hoping to be able to start that again, assuming that we finish up these things for 2401. It's so hard to believe we're already in 24, but here we are. So the improvements for consortium administration, I talked about what we're going to do there. We're continuing the things that I already talked about. As always, we'll be doing high priority and partner priorities. In order to get some of the e-commerce stuff and some other things done, we're going to wait and see if we have time to do some more of the Symphony self-reg. I'm not sure. It's going to depend on how some of those other things go. And the same thing with ungrouping graphic novels. As soon as we can get some of those working on it to done, then we are going to do that. I just want to keep calling that out because I don't want anyone to think that we forgot that. So this is our plan for the end of the year. Again, just trying to clean things up and get some things done, and then hopefully get on some new features. Okay, well, I think I'm next on the list as well, so I'm just going to keep on going. Actually, I'll pause to see if we have any questions. I can't see Zoom, so if someone can. There we go. Okay, I don't think we do. Okay, thanks. Okay, next thing to talk about, these are the performance upgrades for LIDA. One of the things, so we fixed the screen where it was showing the quotes and it was taking a long time. The next thing we really want to tackle is selecting your library, and this is specifically a problem in the shared LIDA. Within the shared LIDA, we have like 1,000 locations right now, and with the way that's stored as an array, it actually takes a while to get through all of them. So there's really just too many libraries in the list. Searching it is a little bit slow, and that list is a long list to scroll. So what you see is the way current LIDA is currently working right now on your screen. What we're finding patrons want to do when they start to see this list is immediately start scrolling it. Well, you can imagine if it's thousands long, then they can't see what they want. They think it's not there. So we actually want to fix that. If the patron has geolocation turned on, it's a little bit better. As you can see here, all of those are click libraries. I'm actually geographically closest to the click libraries, which is why they're at the top of my page. But that can also sometimes make it hard for people to find things because they're not perfectly in alphabetical order. So some of the ideas that we're talking about to make this more efficient, first is to not allow the scroll until the patron has already started a search. If you think about Libby actually works this way, you can imagine the number of libraries in there. You have a patron just start to search, and then we can immediately make that list shorter before we give them the scroll. So that's something I think we probably will do. The others actually involve 2 steps. So that's really why I wanted to bring it to you today, just to see if there were any questions or concerns about the direction we want to go here. The first, again, especially if the patron doesn't have geolocation turned on, is to select either a country, because we do have a good number of libraries in the shared LIDA in Canada, or a state before searching. So it would say, let's limit it to all the libraries in Illinois. Still might be a long list, but makes it a lot shorter and a lot faster to search. The other thing that we want to do is be able to select the Aspen instance rather than the location. So what this means for, let's take a consortium like Swan. So we have the consortium that's Swan Library, and then the individual, one of their member libraries is Oak Park. What they would be looking is to first select Swan and then select Oak Park. The way the search would work, we'd have to input some of these names, but they could search either Swan or Oak Park, and we'd be able to find Swan, but it would still be a two-step process because they would have to be like, yes, I'm a member of Swan, and then, okay, now select the Swan location that you're a part of. And again, if you don't have more than, if there's not member libraries within there, like it would just be the one step, but you would still have to select them. So just gonna pause to see if there's any opinions on those, any folks that are thinking like, oh, we really don't want to add a two-step process here. Again, the goal is just to make this faster. It will also, your patrons will essentially be doing something while Lita is searching. So it's not just the like search and wait. Okay, I'm gonna see. I see a comment that says from Chanel that says, I like scrolling after starting a search. Yep, we were just trying to figure out how other people solve this problem. And that was something that Kirsten found and makes sense. Got a thumbs up on that one. I see Tara says selecting the instance first is my least favorite option. Okay. We could also maybe talk about which of these is enabled for your site. Because yeah, I think patrons really understand, they understand their state. Even if they're searching for their individual library, might just not be as familiar with the consortium. And that was something we talked about and why we have the other option actually. And again, we wouldn't necessarily have to choose between the two. We could also offer both that says something like, select your state or search for your library. And I've seen that in a number of other websites and apps as well, where you have multiple ways to find it. Chanel says she likes that one the best. Any objections or caveats that you want to give to us as we're developing this as an option? All right. Well, if you have any thoughts, I am in Slack. This is Jordan. You can definitely reach out and Slack me. If something comes to you later in this meeting, you can also just drop it in the chat now. We'll be working on this pretty soon. So any feedback that you have is definitely welcome. And then I'm going to hand it over to Kate to talk about AspenCon.
Yay, thanks, Jordan. So the first AspenCon 2024 is well underway, and we are very excited about it. And right now, our website is up and running, and I will ask Jordan to go there as well, and I will drop it in the chat for everyone to see. It will be happening, of course, in Golden, Colorado in March 13, 14, and 15. The registration is open now as well, so you can easily navigate there using those icons that are over there. We would like to learn a little bit about you, how you will be attending, which days you will be attending, what is that you're looking most to at AspenCon. So yes, you can just use that registration form right there. And of course, thank you to all eager early registrants that have already submitted their registration forms. We look forward to seeing you there. We do have a tentative schedule already posted as well. So there are presentations, lightning talks, workshops, and panels that we are looking forward to. And we would like to, of course, thank all the speakers that have graciously agreed to talk to the community. We appreciate your input. Here you can see the breakdown is not filled in yet. We are waiting for our speakers because we would like to make sure we accommodate their preferred times. But that should give you a good overview of what you can expect at AspenCon. Also, there are details about the location. As I mentioned, it's going to be in Golden, Colorado, at the Colorado School of Mines. So, of course, the standard details that you could expect at a conference website. So, how to get there, using different modes of transportation, suggestions for hotels. There's a good number of hotels within the walking distance, and I mean up to 10 minutes from the venue, or hotels that you could commute to. But again, it's not a very long drive. It's 5-10 minutes. So We also have a contact form on the website, so it's never too late for any suggestion. Please let us know. If there's something that you would like to see on the website or you wish we would do differently, we'll always consider that as well. There's also a section about our sponsors. And of course, I would like to thank especially Bywater Solutions and Colorado Library Consortium for supporting us. And if you are interested in supporting us financially or in any other way, you can contact Bill, and there's his email on that webpage right there. But feel free to Slack or DM or email, use the contact form to reach out to us, and we'll see what we can do. We definitely appreciate your support. So if you have any other comments about the website or about the schedule or what else we can do, please feel free to reach out. The contact form, again, it will go directly to me. But of course, we'll have the entire Aspen team involved in making any decisions. We would appreciate if you could share it with your library administrators, your colleagues, or even other third-party vendors. Registration is free. So all you need to do is just submit it there. You don't have to join us in person. You can also join us virtually, and we just would love to see you there.
Right. Thank you so much, Kate. That was a lot of great information. I actually love how the site looks a lot. I'm obsessed with it. But all right, I think I will be passing it along to Jordan to talk about community meeting updates.
Yeah, so we did update all of the calendars. So actually I'm going to share my screen one more time so we can show you this. Let's see. We did make a big upgrade to our calendar this year. This is the page where everything has always been, help.aspendiscovery.org, and then you navigate to community. But we do have this better Google Calendar this year, and you can see that all of our different events are in here, and that they are all now linked, and they should all be in your time zone. So you can also, what I really like is copy this to my calendars. I know it works for Google Outlook folks are going to have to let us know if that's working for them, but all of the details are in here. That is going to be for all of the community meetings, all of the ILS meetings, the gatherings are in there. Also the webinars that we do regularly for like the Morgan or Cal, or sometimes Jesse on our sales team do, those are all listed in here as well. So that's fantastic. I'll tease a little bit. The Aspen Academy sessions that we'll be talking about in a minute are also in here. I did pull up one that I wanted to bring to everyone's attention. At our community meeting, we've been talking about having an Aspen Metabase demo. Metabase is almost like an analytics tool to pull information out of Aspen to see how patrons are using it, that kind of thing. We're going to have an Aspen specific demo for Metabase at the request of the community on January 8th. This says 11 a.m. That's Mountain Time. So 1 p.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Pacific. So again, you can come in here, copy this to your calendar if that's something you're interested in. Let's see. Am I doing Aspen Academy or?
Oh, I'm here.
Yay.
Hello.
Stop sharing just a second.
Yeah. I love the new embedded calendar, so thank you to everyone who made that happen. It's very nice. All right, so next up on the agenda is the Aspen Academy. This is a brand new thing we're going to try because we noticed that, we have Bywater puts on webinars. Some are, for Koha and some are for Aspen, but a lot of the time they're geared towards new partners or prospective partners. And we really wanted to help fill a need for continuing education for our libraries who have already been using Aspen, and maybe they've been using Aspen for so long that there's been some staff turnover and new staff, who are not, there for the implementation training. They're kind of figuring stuff out from the help center and other staff. So this is our way of saying, like, we have some continuing education stuff planned for the first quarter of 2024. And Miranda popped a link into the chat if you want to look at it yourself. And I'm going to share my screen just because I want to show what's going on here. So it's just on our help center. So help.aspendiscovery.org/Aspen Academy. So this page is kind of the home base for the Aspen Academy offerings. And as you scroll down, we have 4. So for the first few months of the year, the first one we have coming up is just about a month away on January 8th. So each session, there was a register now link and a view agenda link. So if I'm like, oh yes, like sign me up, I don't need to know anything else, you can just click on that link and it's going to take you out to Calendly where you'll be able to sign up for that session. So this is how you register for that. And then in the description there, it also links back to the Aspen Academy site. And I think that'll go on your calendar. And it also has the topics. But if you want even more than what's there, from this site, you can click on View Agenda. And that's going to take you to this agenda page just for that class. So again, you can register from here, but it's going to list out what we'll be talking about. It has important information about how to make sure you're prepared for the session. So we list out any related permissions that you might need. So if you are a member library at a consortia or a person at a branch in a library system and not like a main Aspen administrator, this is good to look at just to make sure that your account has a role assigned to it that has the permissions you'll need to follow along and actually do the things we're going to talk about. So definitely recommend making sure you have that sorted out before joining so that you can follow along. We also have linked the relevant documentation on our help center as well as any other external resources. So since this one is about kind of making sure that how to customize Aspen to your library's brand, we have some other related resources like some free things for photo editing and graphic design and other tools that might be helpful. And then once the session has happened, there will be a recording here. So even if you, couldn't make it or didn't even sign up, you would still be able to come here and watch the recording that happened. So hopefully this is exciting. Cal and I are really super excited. And if you have any ideas for future types of sessions you'd like to see, definitely reach out to let us know. Christine says the logo is super nice. Thank you. Cal and I collaborated on that. So we share brain cells. Yay, good responses in the chat. Yeah, so even if you're not completely new to Aspen, maybe you just want a refresher and you just want a place to ask a live person questions that's not through the ticketing system. Definitely sign up. We would love to see familiar faces and new faces as well. Are there any questions about Aspen Academy? Desiree says that will be very helpful with onboarding and refreshers. Yeah, we agree. We think that this has been a need and we're really happy to try to fill that. So really looking forward to it. All right. Well, I'm going to pass it along to, and just in case you haven't already thought of this, like if pass it on to your staff. So link out the Aspen Academy to your staff and say, if you want to learn something, sign up, spread the word. All right. Now I'm going to pass it on to Kelly so she can talk about some outreach stuff.
Thanks, Morgan. For all of those who aren't familiar with me, my name is Kelly McGillicott. I'm on the sales team for Bywater, and I'm here to help out Elise, who's out right now. So I'm just going to talk a few points to remind y'all to do the perception survey. It is very important. Miranda has put it into the chat. You just need to fill out a few fields to register yourself and then answer just a few questions. And it means a lot to us for you to do that. My second point to be here is, as always, we have a community give back award, and we've talked about it in the past. Please again, Miranda put it in chat. Thank you. Please go ahead. And if you have something that you would like Bywater to support you, we give $500 out to libraries for great causes. So please think about that and submit. We love all the suggestions, and we love hearing about what libraries are doing. It really warms the heart to feel all the library loves. So don't forget, that is every month that we give out a community give back award. And then finally, thank you so much for anyone who submitted a logo concept. We are celebrating 15 years as Bywater Solutions as of March 2024. And we're super excited to kind of, sing it from the rooftops. So in a few, maybe next week, you will get another poll to vote on your favorite logo concept for our 15-year anniversary. So please, again, we love the community aspect. We loved hearing from you. So please do not disregard that email you get from us. Please, please, please vote. And we'd love to get your feedback. So again, thank you all for letting me join your meeting. And that's all I have.
All right, thanks, Kelly. I'm going to jump in here before we do open time. We do have a few more minutes. And first off, I want to thank all the contributors who contributed to the most recent update for Aspen, Bywater Solutions, Thiki Technology, PTFS Europe, Nashville Public Library, CWMRs, and Equinox Open Library Initiative. Thank you all. It really helps us to be able to improve what we're doing with Aspen, all the contributors. I also like to thank all of y'all individually. We appreciate y'all that y'all decided to join us. I get a little verklempt that y'all join us with Aspen Discovery, and y'all chose Bywater as the company that was the service company. We've had a lot of growth this year. We appreciate everything that y'all done, especially when y'all give us good feedback on how we're doing or what we can improve. That really helps us as a company, and especially with Aspen, to make it better. So thank you. And I hope that as the year ends, that everyone has a safe and happy holiday season. And now we're going to open it up to open time. And by the way, I thought this was a party, so I wore my hat. So.
All right, so like usual, if you have any questions or topics you want to talk about in open time, it is a free-for-all and you can go for it. Don't be shy. We're all here to help and answer and have a discussion. So cool. Open time is now.
More like no pin time. Am I right? No one's talking. That's okay.
All right, since we don't have any, we're going to sign off with a nice wave. I hope everyone has a wonderful end of the year and happy holiday season.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, bye.
Thank you.